Ladies, gentlemen, and ballers, we are back here in another YouTube video. Shot Callers Podcast, Private KJ back here. We're talking about the Sixth Man of the Year candidates and my award, who it should go to so far in this shortened NBA season. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat. Okay, Bradley Beal's still part of the team, guys. But with that said, let's talk about the Sixth Man of the Year. Let's just get right into it. I know I've mentioned in my other videos, but once again, Sunday we are not streaming. Or I'm at least not going to stream until I get back from Florida. But I'm going to keep uploading. I already have some videos recorded, so you guys know I will be dropping some content, making sure I never miss anything. With that said, though, we're going to be dropping our Sixth Man, and here are the five. Well, mainly four, but I created a fifth if you want to add Chris Boucher in there. But I already talked about him before. I don't think he's not really in my running compared to the other people. So I really have four main candidates in my opinion. Okay, if I'm missing anyone, let me know in the comment section. We have Julius Randle. We have Jerami Grant, Christian Wood, and Jaylen Brown. Okay, let's just kick right into it. Okay, first we're talking about Julius Randle. Okay, he's averaging about 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Okay, he has been just a really good player who I think honestly has a really good chance of making All-Star. I'm not sure if it'll actually happen because of how kind of biased the All-Star selection is, to be quite honest. But he's having an all-star type season. He's having averaging a double-double with 6 assists. And I like how Tom Thibodeau has incorporated and got Julius Randle understand that sometimes you just can't put your head down and drive, and you have to learn to kick out and kind of be a playmaker. And he's done just that. On top of that, I'm not saying Julius Randle's a great defender by any stretch, but Tom Thibodeau has him playing great team defense, which is why the Knicks aren't as bad as like what they were projected to be and what they normally have been. The great part about it though is how efficient Julius Randle has been from his scoring, because he's shooting like 46% from the field, okay, 48, 47, 48 around there. But he's shooting 38% from the 3-point line on 4 attempts per game. Now that is a career high for him. And with that added in mind, the thing that makes it all the more better is the fact that the lack of spacing is just so bad on the Knicks. Like, they just don't have any good 3-point shooters. I remember when they played the Clippers, they really just ran like a 2-3 zone and kind of just sagged off half the players, and they just couldn't make a shot. But it's very nice to see that Julius Randle is just playing this way. And it's going to be interesting to see how teams want to pay him, because I feel like people are going to be reluctant to give him a max contract or anything close to that. I think he is worth about $20 million though. That is my opinion. We have yet to see if he is really a winning type player. Even though he is leading the Knicks as best he can, I do like what Thibodeau has done, and I would kind of like to base most of that success on the coach. But then again, props to go out to Julius Randle. He's been a monster this year. Next up though, we have Jaylen Brown. He's averaging about 27 points, 5 boards, 3.5 assists. He's just been killing it this year. Arguably, if I think he's been better, I'm gonna be bold here. I think he's been better than Jayson Tatum this year, to be quite honest. Now Tatum has missed plenty of games. Brandon has missed a couple games. And the Celtics have missed a bunch of players. But I like to see how when the Celtics were dealing with a lot of injuries, Jaylen Brown was able to pick it up for them. He was basically the reason why the Celtics were staying afloat, which is so key, because without Jaylen Brown, I think this team would be basically what the Toronto Raptors were at the beginning of the season, where they were just struggling. And Jaylen Brown really just carried this team. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Kemba Walker hasn't looked great. Marcus Smart's hurt now. Tatum just got back from COVID, and it's just so good to see, because he's improved every single season. Like, it seems like he's always like top 10 for most improved player, and once again he takes the next jump. I think he's going to be a superstar, a top 15 to 20 player, I'd say, in the leagues pretty soon. And I like seeing that. I mean, he's a great defender, a great 3-point shooter, great just player in general. Now he is shooting about 78% from the free throw line. I wish that would go up. But the thing that is so key to look at, he's shooting 56% from the 2-point, like from 2-pointers. That is ridiculous. He has been so efficient in the mid-range game. He's shooting about 40% from the 3-point line. So that's even better on more like 6 attempts. So that's really key to see. So it's really nice to see Jaylen Brown kind of take that next step once again. And Celtics fans, I remember his rookie year, he just struggled so much, and he's just improved so much since then. It's really nice to see. Next up, we have Christian Wood, 22 points, 10 boards. He's just been a menace. Like, he's just so freakishly athletic, and it's so crazy to me that he went undrafted. Because he's really just been a beast. He's shooting about like 40% from 3, I believe. I don't know. NBA references about 42% from the 3-point line. I didn't even know that, on 4.5 attempts per game. That's pretty crazy. He's averaging about 1.5 blocks. And the thing that I like to notice, even though Christian Wood has been out with injury for a little bit, like a few games now, is how Steven Silas has been able to give the Rockets defensive identity. Because the reason why they've been actually as good as they have been is because they have been an elite defense this year. And you would think with the pieces that they have, like, why is that? I genuinely just think it's the difference between Mike D'Antoni and Steven Silas. Because, I mean, Mike D'Antoni is not a bad coach by any stretch, but he's not a defensive coach. And you can see outside of one outlier year of Houston, they weren't really a good defensive team. With that said, though, I like seeing Christian Wood flourish in this team, and you can just see the Rockets stole Wood in free agency. What did he sign, like a 3-year, $44 million contract? That is a ridiculous signing for a player of Christian Wood's caliber. And it's unfortunate to see him get hurt. The one thing I will mention, though, that I am a little bit nervous about is his health moving forward, because he's just so athletic. I hope what I want to see is when Christian Wood starts to age, he's able to develop his game so he can last the NBA. Because, boy, is Wood he's so fun to watch. And I think he can with this potential to shoot even more threes if he really wanted to. But, like, I remember he was playing LaMarcus Aldridge in the Spurs. He was just killing Jakob Poeltl and Aldridge because he's just so athletic. It'll be really fun to see this team make the playoffs because, man, were they looking good once that James Harden shirt went through. Lastly, though, we have Jerami Grant, my boy, the person that the Nuggets should have done everything in their power to hold on to. And I understand that they matched Detroit's contract, but, man, they should have held on to him. And I wish Doug Monroe gave him a bigger opportunity to score more because I was buying Jerami Grant stock since day one, since OKC Thunder Jerami Grant days. I love this guy, and I'm so glad he's just kind of figured out, like, damn, I could just dominate if I wanted to. Now, I understand the Pistons suck. But it is anywhere but it's everyone except Jerami Grant's fault, if that makes sense. He's averaging 24 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. Okay. Now, if you actually watch the games, the defense has not been there as he really used to. But I mean, the Pistons suck. He's more focused on his offense, which I guess I understand. And there's not really that coach like Monroe to just be like, Hammer, nah, you're our 3-and-D player. You're going to be a defender. You're going to guard the best players. So I do see a lot of times where he might just be a little lazy on defense and kind of take a play off here and there. But overall, he's just been a god, like, for the Pistons. Like, he's just been so good. It's not that he's been bad on defense, but I can just tell there's some lazy tendencies now that he's in Detroit, and I will admit that. But he's shooting 39% from 3 on 6.5 attempts. He's shooting about 45% from the field. And the thing that I like to see is Jerami Grant really isn't playing that much different than what he kind of was in Denver. He gets his points from the fast break, and he's specifically doing this. It's either he's getting his points in the paint or at the 3-point line. He's been so efficient, and his shot selection has been so efficient. And that's so key because I really don't think he's all that talented of a shot creator, but he's so smart on how to get his buckets, which is on the fast break and half-court settings. He knows his kind of his skill set, and he doesn't deviate from that, and that's what you can appreciate with Jerami Grant. With that said, though, my 6th man of the year candidate goes to drumroll. Nah, okay, I'm being cringy. I'm gonna have to give it to Jerami Grant right now. And let me explain. So, if Christian Wood was healthy, right now that's why he's over him. So that's actually just the main reason. Julius Randle, I guess you can make the debate because he's been so good this year, but I think Jerami Grant is just by far the worst team in the league. And I understand that the Pistons are still like one of the worst teams in the league. But if you take Jerami Grant off that team, like, do you think they win a game? Like, I'm so serious about that. And with that said, Jaylen Brown honestly is second in my opinion. But I think it's the fact that Jaylen Brown is just, we've seen him take steps and he's always in that six man of the year race. I mean, not six man. Wow, I meant um, most improved player race. I think it's just kind of getting old. I think there's going to be some voter bias against Brown, so I think that's my opinion. But Jerami Grant, he's just been so good. Like genuinely, like sit down and watch a Pistons game, and you will see for yourselves. When Jerami Grant is taken off the floor, they look so much worse. It's like they try to go and run it through Blake Griffin, and he's just old at this point. He's not doing anything. Mason Plumlee's just a typical fine big man. They just traded Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith. Like, come on. So you got to cut Jerami Grant some slack. Like, you can't expect them to be a good team with the roster that they put together. And yeah, that's just my opinion. That is my sixth man of the year candidate. Maybe might be a tiny bit biased because I'm like the biggest Jerami Grant fan. He's probably like one of my favorite, if not my favorite NBA player. But yeah, that's just my opinion. With that said, leave a like on the video, subscribe. Private KJ out.